Apologies for that. And meanwhile, politicians continue the hunt for votes in various parts of the country where leaders and aspirants hold rallies. But even with the face-to-face campaigns, politicians are using the internet as a supplement for their campaigns. But what is the role of social media in all this? Our senior reporter, Rita Tinina, reports on the evolving forms of political campaigns.
For those seeking elective office, just how to influence the electorate requires a make-or-break strategy, and campaigns make all the difference. Ahead of elections in 1992, 1997, 2002 and 2007, politicians battled it out in campaigns on the ground. But political campaigns have evolved over the last decade with growth of digital technology and use of social media, providing politicians with a different platform for engagement.
One thing we can give to social media is that it has at least made some form of direct engagement between the voter and the politician, and they're able to know a bit more.
Engagement that is good and bad in equal measure, and not for those without social media thick skin.
Twitter munaona na hiyo, mimi niliondoka huko. Ngaona hii kitu ni bure, ni matusi tu, hakuna kitu kingine inaendelea hapa. Right? Unakaa hapo unasoma hulali, nini wanasema nini?
Twitter and Facebook are the go-to channels for those on social media, getting information on political activity on the ground in the touch of a button.
You think, yes, I'm on social media, I have a lot of information, and yet the information you're getting from your side is only channeled towards one particular direction. And that doesn't really enhance democracy. According
to data portal, internet penetration stood at 40% by January last year, with 21.75 million internet users, 11 million being social media users. And politicians are out to reach to the users. On Twitter, for instance, Deputy President William Ruto has 4.4 million followers, ODM leader Raila Odinga 3.3 million, and State House Kenya 1.5 million followers. So when it comes to make a decision in terms of what policies does this politician have, what is his strategy, what is his vision, definitely social media is not a place to go, because the quality of the information that campaigns are sharing online is of a very low quality, just to sensationalize, look for clicks, look for followers, viewership. Trends that may not serve to sway voters.
Sometimes people have already made their decision on whom they're going to vote for. So even when they go online, they're just trying to look for information that affirms their position.
Social media provides users with a library of sorts.
In Kenya, we keep on jumping ship from one party to the other, coalitions and so on. So people are able to trace back, and see the inconsistency.
Such are common on Twitter, false information, despite the existence of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act 2018, which criminalizes the spread of false information. The act stipulates that a person who intentionally publishes false or misinforms with the intent that the data shall be considered or acted upon as authentic is liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or both.
It doesn't have specificity. It leaves a lot of gray areas, and any state actor might just jump into these gray areas and try perhaps intimidate bloggers or people online who are sharing information.
Social media remains a necessary evil, with the gap between genuine information and engineered data, leaving users with the challenge of separating the wheat from the chaff on social media. Rita Tinina, KTN News.
All right, time for us to take another short break here on Checkpoint, but let's take a look at what you'll be waking up to tomorrow morning on your newspaper and everything to do about you and what issues you have with regards this particular election. Of course, 6 issues voters want leaders to fix. Too many Kenyans have been denied quality education, locking them out of jobs and confining them to poverty. Voters want the economy fixed, agriculture revamped, and steps taken to reduce inequality. That's the big story on the Standard newspaper tomorrow, with a big figure of 16.5 million Kenyans hold the same amount of wealth as the two richest people in the country, exposing the high levels of economic inequality. This being a major issue even in this particular election. Other top stories in our Standard newspaper: numbers that matter ahead of the August elections. Kenyan politics is more like an ethnic census. Given this scenario, some regions are poised to play a major role in influencing who becomes the 5th president. We crunch the numbers for you, so take a look at that breakdown on the Standard newspaper tomorrow. And show of might as Wanga Nyambati hit campaign trail. Homa Bay Women Rep launches bid to succeed Governor Cyprian Awiti on the Azimio ticket as Nyambati sets out to capture Nyamira's seat on UDA, raising the stakes in Nyanza politics. And of course, being a Monday paper, you get your pull-out of health and science, the broken heart syndrome, when sour love leads to depression, panic attacks, insomnia, and suicidal tendencies. Do get a copy of your Standard newspaper to also get that exciting pull-out on health and science, to read all the interesting stories in that particular magazine. Let's take another break here on Checkpoint. We'll be back with more, including sports news. Stay with us.